Yeah, it's like, my favorite character is Elsa. And then they're like, I hate Elsa!
Right.
Yeah. Hey everybody, this is Zillennial Meets World. If you haven't noticed, Nutmeg is with me today because it's National Corgi Day. Congrats, Nutmeg, on being the breed that you are. I'm also here today with Limpy McGee. That is the Jordan.
Here we go. Hey.
Jordan just had surgery on her knee.
Again.
This is breaking HIPAA information publicly. I'm very happy.
It's okay. It's all right.
And then we have Taylor. Taylor's here too. Oh my gosh.
Wait, Jordan also just got engaged.
Oh.
It's true.
Knee surgery and a ring.
Yeah. It was a really busy 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, but most importantly, what happened in these 2 weeks is that all three of us went to Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
That's true. We did go to Buc-ee's. First timers.
And I'm a better person for it. I will tell you that right now.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing from Buc-ee's?
The ambiance, I think.
Oh, not even a treat.
No, not even a treat.
Just the vibes.
I will say, for me, Buc-ee's personally, I think it's properly rated for novelty, but maybe like overrated in terms of food.
I completely agree because my thought on the snack situation was like, I can get all of this somewhere else. It just has a Buc-ee's logo on it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
maybe that's
I actually
tea,
agree.
But yeah.
It did feel like the Wild West out there, though. The gas station situation, huge. The actual, like, pumps, you know. The parking lot, crazy. It was crazy. It was mayhem.
It was
out
like
there.
Costco, but on steroids.
Yeah, it was a Costco parking lot, but there was no stop signs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and people were going crazy out there.
Yeah, so Buc-ee's, fix your crap.
But we love you.
Well, we loved it.
We do love the Buc-ee. It's true. All right. Well, today, in honor of it getting hot outside, we're going to do a Lilo and Stitch episode. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the remake and how I think it sucked. And maybe, I don't know, maybe everybody else thinks it sucked too.
I
But
actually kind of liked it.
yeah, you're right. It wasn't that bad.
I boycotted. I'm anti-remake.
And we're also going to play a fun little like brainstorming activity just to start us off. We're going to discuss where we would most like to live. And these are cartoon specific places. And I think the majority of them, not all of them are, what is it called? TV shows.
Okay.
So, here's our list, and we're going to try to rank these like 1 to 10, 1 being the best. Like, this is exactly where we want to live
there.
And like 10 being the worst. So we have Bikini Bottom, and the assumption is I think you can be a creature in these areas. So like,
Okay.
Oh, so I get to like change into a sea animal.
Yes.
Or Sandy with the helmet.
yes. Or a human with a helmet, because apparently that's logic down there.
Right. Well, yeah.
Narnia, so you get everything that's in Narnia, and you can either be yourself in Narnia or you can choose to be something else. I think that you can do what you want.
Yeah. Naturally.
Danville from Phineas and Ferb.
Classic.
Coolsville from Scooby-Doo. So you're hunting ghosts, basically. We have Zootopia, so you can be a critter in Zootopia. Monstropolis, which is the city in Monsters, Inc. Orbit City, which is from the Jetsons, so you're in the future.
Cool. Could be fun.
Radiator Springs, so that's from Cars. Whoville from like The Grinch or Horton Hears a Who or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Ocean Shores, which is from Rocket Power, which is like an old Nickelodeon show, and it's basically San Diego. It's like a beachside, like you're a lot of like roller skating, rollerblading.
Yeah, there's lots of skating going on in
a lot
that
of
show.
skate culture there.
Okay, cool.
Healy culture, if you will.
All right. So off the bat, does anybody feel really strongly about what number one should be, or do you want to start at the bottom?
I think the bottom.
I think we start at the bottom.
All
right,
poke through.
All right.
I don't really want to live in Bikini Bottom. I don't know however anyone else feels
Okay,
about
why
that. I'm kind of scared of the ocean.
But if you're a critter,
I don't know.
Would you be a critter? Would you be like a little sea creature? Would you be a little fish?
I'm torn between, to be honest, Narnia and Bikini Bottom as the bottom, because Narnia seems like a pretty scary place to be.
Well, Narnia just like feels like...
Narnia feels like you're getting attacked constantly.
My argument for Narnia, though, is like if you would want to be a prince or princess or whatever, it seems like every human in Narnia is
royalty.
It is royalty.
I forget, do they have like magic?
Not really.
No. I don't know.
I'm gonna go Narnia because I actually think I'm more scared of Narnia than Bikini Bottom, but I would like put Bikini Bottom like second to last, in my opinion.
I feel like I really don't disagree because Narnia, again, I feel like it's not really selling me because I feel like they're just constantly fighting wars.
Well, I think the whole point of Narnia, not to get too deep, is like good versus evil, and it feels like
I don't need that much
it's
evil in
supposed
my
to,
imaginary
it's supposed to
world.
represent like the world
You
today.
think they got a lot of evil in Whoville? They got one fucking Grinch.
And he
But
turned
like
good.
living in Narnia just feels like living in today's world. The evil
Well,
is just
I don't want to live in that.
okay. So we think the world we live in now is the bottom.
Yeah, Narnia sucks.
Narnia's out.
Okay.
Put it. Do you want me to
Yeah,
write?
somebody write this down so
here.
we don't lose track. We're putting Narnia at the bottom.
Narnia's at 10 for now. We'll see.
Okay.
I'm then torn between Bikini Bottom and Radiator Springs, because Radiator Springs is a street, is it not?
I feel like there's nothing at Radiator Springs.
Well, but if I'm a car,
Well, if you're a car, I feel like it could be cool.
it just seems like there's not much to do there.
Yeah.
I kind of agree. I feel
Boring.
I think it's boring. I think it's number 9.
I don't know. I like those little French guys that like they work in the NASCAR.
But that's like
That's it. First of all, they're Italian.
Oh,
and
sorry.
that's also if you just like that's like going to get a pedicure, but for like a car.
What, getting that? No, I'm talking about the people that work in like the NASCAR thing where they change the tires
I know
of the
that's
racers.
insane. That's like getting a
Luigi.
pedicure.
She's talking
they,
about Luigi.
They change your wheels. They put new ones on. You get shiny new wheels. You're good to go. I feel like it's just like getting a little pedicure.
I guess.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've never thought of it that way. Because I feel like it's like
But if
real
you're,
NASCAR.
if you're the car though,
yeah.
because you wouldn't be a human. I feel like in Radiator Springs,
No,
there are no humans.
you have
yeah.
to be a car.
Yeah, I actually wish it was below Narnia.
No, I'm so scared. I'd much rather live in boring Radiator Springs than be scared
I guess it
of
would
the
be a
witch.
pretty relaxing life. It's like retirement life. Radiator
You have an
Springs.
eraser over there.
Oh, yeah.
Did you write
I was gonna rate Radiator Springs, but then I didn't know if we decided. That was number 9.
Radiator Springs number 9?
All right, yeah, I agree.
Okay, so I have a question about the Monsters, Inc. one. Mm-hmm. Is that the monster world or like the human world that they step into?
No, it's the city of Monstropolis. So if you remember in Monsters Inc., they're kind of like walking through town and
Yeah, so it's like where the
like-
monsters live.
Yeah.
Okay.
which I guess in theory you're right. They have portals.
Which would be kind of cool. So I think that is higher on the list for me.
Interesting. I don't know if I want to be a monster.
Right. So, like, I kind of forget, like, what are the monsters doing? Like, if you're not a scarer,
Well,
or
if you're,
like,
Well, it changed.
yeah,
Right, it
so,
did change.
So now, if you are like a comedian,
Yeah.
you have a
go
job.
in and-
It seems very much like, once again, I think it's the doldrums of the real world that we live in today.
You're just a
they need
monster.
energy. They're sucking up a lot of energy. They're worried
Right.
about the fossil fuels,
And
so
they
they're
gotta
using.
work.
So they're tormenting children, and using child labor, aka laughs and scares, to energize
The world.
their city.
Yeah.
And consequences be darned.
yeah, I
It
feel
seems
like
very
it's
unethical over there.
It does.
It does seem a little
It
bit
actually
unethical.
does, and I feel like you're still working for a living there.
You're still working for a
You know what I
living.
mean?
Okay, but you're working
Sully's
for...
working out. He has to work out. He has to stay in shape just to be at his job as a scarer.
He just... Because he wants to be good at his job.
And then you also have like inferiority complexes going on because you got Mike Wazowski just like doing his bit and he's like, I'm not a scarer. You know?
Okay, but like, do we hate it more than we hated Bikini Bottom? Because we still
I kind of
haven't.
do, because I think Bikini Bottom seems to be
It's
a place, but you can
relatively
travel
chill.
to other places. I can go get a kelp juice, and then
No, but it seems just as boring as Radiator Springs. Because what are you doing at Bikini Bottom? You're working. I'm working as a fry cook.
but I think like that town seems like a real strong community of people. Not that Radiator Springs
It's true.
isn't,
There is a lot of recurring characters constantly in your neighborhood.
but it just feels like, you know, where everybody knows your name. I can live under a rock. I can live in a pineapple. I can do all these things there.
But you do still have to work there.
Yeah,
like
but
you
I
are-
can clearly I
But
have a lot of
also-
downtime because
And
I
Mr.
can.
Krabs is representing every CEO in America. So
yeah, but
greedy.
think about this though. SpongeBob has his own house and he's just works in the kitchen. And Squidward's a cashier and he's got that
Yeah,
whole
but
big
Squidward
house.
has been around for. Squidward is like baby boomer. He could afford the house because he's had it for years.
I
What
don't
about
think he's that
SpongeBob?
old, but also
When did SpongeBob? He's not that old, but when did SpongeBob start?
in the 90s.
So it was more affordable back then.
But
do you think they've
about the
adopted our inflation?
Think about the downtime. I could go jellyfishing.
They do have a lot of downtime.
I could
too.
practice the clarinet.
That's just their weekends.
No,
That's
you
when
don't
they're
know that.
off. They're in the restaurant industry.
Look, they have such a high quality of life that without a license, they can get everything they need, clearly, and afford a pet.
I don't know. So what? Where do you want Bikini Bottom to be then? Just above.
I think
Mom.
Metropolis needs to go next on the list. Is what I'm saying, because it seems I don't want to live in a city either. You think I want to live in a city?
Well,
with
then
you?
why the hell are we living in? Well, then if you don't want to live in a city, we need to talk about Zootopia because that's
I
just
don't
one
wanna
big
live there
city.
either. We're gonna get there.
they have lots of areas.
They have
because
suburbs.
Because the bunny, she's from the farms.
Yeah.
What's her name? I forget.
Judy Hopps. You
Judy
don't remember
Hopps.
Judy Hopps?
Yeah, she's from the. She came from the farm and she moved to the big city.
Judy Hopps. And
But
here we
Zootopia
go.
is the city, and that's what we're discussing.
I thought we were talking about the world of Zootopia.
Well, then if we're talking about the world, the Bikini Bottom is the whole ocean.
Zootopia has like different segments.
So then, what is the city of Zootopia called?
No, like it's all Zootopia.
So,
the
like-
different segments are all Zootopia.
But the farm
is Zootopia.
that makes no sense.
Yes, it does. Because they have like different quadrants for like the different animals that live there. So there's like a tundra, and then there's like a jungle section. So it's all different. It's all different atmospheres, even though it's all one thing. So Zootopia is legitimately like not just a city.
Okay.
I like Zootopia. We will come back to that. But so Metropolis.
I mean, that's fine, but I don't want Bikini Bottom to get up any
That's fine.
higher.
Bikini Bottom next. Bikini Bottom
All
next.
right.
La, 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 la,
They got
la,
that giant
la, la,
worm. Bikini Bottom would not be fun to live in.
I could go visit Clamu. I could go watch. They held the fry cook games there. I could snail race there. There's entertainment things to do there.
Honestly, Bikini Bottom gives like retirement community vibes to me.
I'm just. Bikini Bottom is very clearly an all-inclusive.
Yeah.
It's just like it's an all-inclusive.
It's just the bottom of the
And they
ocean.
performed at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Don't you remember their Super Bowl halftime performance?
It was iconic.
I'm pissed that we didn't remember that one year that people wanted it to be that, like in real life in this
They like
world.
played a little clip of it.
Yeah, they
Did
did.
they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. It was disappointing. I think people's heads got
Yeah,
inflated
yeah.
with what they wanted it to
What
be.
they actually wanted it to be. Yeah.
All right, so
Do we have bottom 5 yet, or what?
we have 6 left. So
Okay.
that
We have the
leaves
bottom
us.
4.
Yeah, we have Bikini Bottom at 7, Monstropolis at 8, Radiator Springs at 9, Narnia at 10. So
Go ahead.
that leaves us with Ocean Shores, Whoville, Orbit City, Zootopia, Coolsville, and Danville. My take would be Ocean Shores next.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think Coolsville's needs to be starting to get up into the discussion.
I do too.
I'm not trying to eat sandwiches all day. You know my take on sandwiches.
We know, but not everybody eats sandwiches. Only Shaggy and
It's
Scooby.
only Shaggy and Scooby.
What are the other ones misleading. I don't
random
need
food.
men walking around. Listen, I already have to deal with men wearing mullets. No, I don't
Wearing mullets.
I don't need men wearing ascots too.
I'm a fan of the modern mullet. I'm just gonna say that.
I don't hate the ascot. Fred pulls it off. Not everybody wears one though. Shaggy doesn't.
I don't know anything about ocean shores, so I feel like I can't make an argument for that, but I think it'd be cool.
Look up ocean shores, and there's like, it's basically like living at the beach at like a boardwalk.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
isn't it like cold in that area, or is it
No.
warm there?
No, it's like San Diego. I'm picturing it that it's basically San Diego, and I think the vibe there is like, pretty chill, pretty relaxed.
It seems very your scene.
Oh,
And what-
okay. Actually, okay.
I feel like you would
Ocean
like it there.
Shores is a
You'd like to go
fictional Southern
rollerblading.
California beach town that serves as the setting for Rocket Power. They spend their days surfing, skating, snowboarding.
So it's California.
Yeah, it was designed to be like Malibu, Long Beach, Huntington Beach, Monica Pier. Oh, all right. I'll let that one go. I could vibe
So
with that
what
one.
is Coolsville next?
Does anybody have anything else they would put below Coolsville?
Maybe Whoville.
Who's? That's like a very silly of you.
Oops.
I
don't
think
know,
Whoville sounds like a great place to
Yeah,
be.
I as soon as I said it, I regretted it.
I think it could go up a few spots because
Orbit City, how do we feel about that?
I think it's so cool.
I'm like kind of out on Danville.
That's my number one.
No, because there's so many random things are happening. The mayor tries to get overtaken. The mayor almost dies like every episode.
I feel like unless
want
you're
to
friends
be-
with Phineas
no.
and Ferb,
Well,
it's not fun.
If this is happening, I am a kid and I am friends with Phineas and Ferb and I'm
they
along on the
grow up.
adventure
What happens
every day.
when they grow up?
They become, this is what there is an episode about them growing up, going to college. But this is what I think of. I feel like Phineas and Ferb then become like Meet the Robinsons and like they just create a whole new city and it's really cool and designed by them. That's how I picture it happening.
I feel like it's so chaotic there.
it's so chaotic.
Okay,
it's
well, it's definitely not
unpredictable.
number 6.
It seems like
It can't be number 6 if it's my number 1. I refuse.
It seems like the traffic has to be horrible there because there's unpredictable things happening at any given moment, and I would hate to be in it. Oh, there's a roller coaster in the road.
They all seem on board with it. Everyone likes it.
we really don't
Then
get
there's that
anybody
guy that
else's
just-
POV though.
Then there's that guy that's like, his wife is like, you bought this and you thought this was gonna happen.
Yeah, and then it does, and it's hilarious.
And it's like, I'm not sure. How
You
I go
bought a
about-
bunny farm and didn't buy any bunnies.
and then Judy
And then they
pops out
all
of nowhere.
fall out of the sky.
Again, I just don't see like the Coolsville seems like there's less advantages to Coolsville
Yeah.
than what else is on the board.
Yeah, I think Coolsville might be on the be in
I
good
think
number
number
6 spot
six
because
should be
like
Coolsville.
if you can get into the ghost hunting community and like that's your career, cool.
And you guys know how I feel about ghosts.
Well, yeah, you're anti for sure, but like I
They
mean,
need
they're
a
fake.
YouTube channel.
They do, yeah. They could have YouTube back then. I think I could agree though. I think Coolsville. I think that can go number 6,
Yeah.
even though I love
Lots of drama.
Scooby.
Lots of drama. People are always trying to frame them for
well,
stuff.
that's the thing. There's not actually ghosts.
Right, they're
There's just
basically
humans.
just
No, it's
doing
just
the
people.
police's
It's just
job.
evil
It's just
people.
cosplay.
It's just evil people.
It's
yeah,
just
dressed up.
cosplay. It's just cosplay.
Okay, yeah, I'm cool with that.
All right, so
Now is where it gets tough.
yeah,
Top 5.
I'm out here thinking Danville, and I'm also out here thinking Orbit City.
What is everyone's number 1? Should we make everyone if it's all different? Okay.
I'm looking at Whoville and Ocean Shores.
What's your number 1?
I don't know. I could maybe go Ocean Shores. I do really like Orbit City. And I do like Zootopia.
I
forgot
forgot about
Zootopia was on the
I
board.
think Zootopia should be
Zootopia's
number
next.
5. I think Zootopia
There's
is
a
number 5.
mafia happening in Zootopia.
That is true.
There's mayors getting framed. Then if you've seen the second one, the mayor's just like a puppet. There's a lot of drama. There's I'm not.
And you do still have to have a job because remember when Judy Hopps first moved into the downtown area?
Yeah.
She was
There's
living in that
racism.
little.
There's so much corruption.
shoebox.
So much corruption.
Yeah.
That big political leader, she's the one that was in charge of the whole thing. Lots of corruption.
Yeah.
I think you've swayed me. I liked the idea of Zootopia because you could pick your tundra, but like the drama just
pick your tundra. Tundra's a specific.
Yeah, I know. You could pick your, you know what I mean.
Your atmosphere.
Yes.
What are those called?
Your
Well, can you?
habitat?
I thought you're.
Yeah.
If you have to be that animal, though, you can't just live in any habitat.
Well, maybe in Zootopia 3, when that comes out, there will be more things. But also, they're anti-snake and reputation. So,
Reputation.
and I'm big rep out here.
All right, so Zootopia's at 5.
Cool. I think that's a good spot. Okay, so what?
Danville, Orbit City, Whoville, Ocean Shores, and I'm talking Danville, Orbit City is my fight
I think
right
I'm
now.
like kind of in that vibe. More probably Danville than Orbit City.
Here's the thing. I think Phineas and Ferb can make Orbit City. They grow up and they make Orbit City. And I want to be along for the ride during childhood of watching them make all their cool inventions.
I would be comfortable with Orbit City going next because of the Wall-E effect of that I think Orbit City would have on me.
Oh, too lazy? Like you?
Yeah.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay, that is true. You do lose a lot of like nature
Yeah, and I don't like that.
with the Jetsons, but their technology's fun. But everything's robots, which I'm anti.
Yeah, we're anti-AI.
See, Phineas and Ferb make cool inventions, but it's like still get you up and moving.
All right, I'll
Put Orbit City down.
yeah. I was like, what's it called?
Nice.
So now we're at the top 3. We have Ocean Shores from Rocket Power, Whoville, and what's the other one?
Danville.
Danville.
I feel like this is what it is in my mind. Danville, Whoville, Ocean Shores.
Ocean Shores is number 1, but it's just California.
I
We
don't
could move to California and be in Ocean Shores.
This is absurd. We can't move to California.
Okay, but that's
I just
basically
love
what we're
a
saying.
beach town. I would like
I
love
don't
to
think
be on
I
a
would
beach
like
town.
Ocean Shores to end up number 1. So I think it
We
needs to
have
be.
Ocean Shores at home.
I can't. I don't remember like the context of like the town in the show. So like, I'm basing it purely on vibes, but I can't remember a lot of the plot of the show. And the things they encounter.
It's literally Rocket Power, them just skating at a skate park.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
I think it should be number 3.
You just want Danville to be number 1.
Yes, I was very clear about that.
I still feel like I think there's a lot of downsides to being like the average Joe in Danville, in my opinion.
But here's my thing: is this whole thing is made up worlds, and what are we gonna and where we want to be? Choosing Ocean Shores just feels like we're moving to California, which we can do in the real world and skate everywhere.
No, because in Ocean Shores it feels like they're like you're not
It doesn't seem
restricted
like
by
there's
money.
any turmoil. Like
Yeah.
you don't.
There's a legitimate cost to California, and there's
Are
not
they
a legitimate.
kids? Are they kids in the show?
Yes,
So if I was a kid living in California, I would have zero costs.
I don't think that's true.
And during the summer, I could just go skate at the skate park because my parents are paying for stuff.
I feel like we don't know enough about it to say no, because for all we know, nobody works there.
they
They
could
could just be vibing.
They eat a lot of pizza.
Again, it just sounds like my childhood.
I would be fine putting Ocean Shores at 3.
I guess.
Well, it's 2v1, hun, so you have to do it.
Well, Danville's not number 1. I hate to break it to you.
So let's have it out. Danville, Whoville. There's just no con to Whoville in my mind. What name a con? No, he's good. The Grinch is like beloved.
His heart grew through 3 sizes that day.
And like if you know your Seussian lore,
I'm totally fine with Whoville being number one.
Well, can I say what I was
Yeah,
gonna say?
sorry. Go ahead.
That girl's ready to fight to the death
If you
for
know your
Whoville.
Susian lore, it really is just like there was a gust of wind that blew him into the wrong town, and he's just like a little misunderstood Grinch. And if he just got met with his people, he would fit right in, and he'd be able to eat glass, and his parents wouldn't just be a bunch of swingers like in the Jim Carrey version, and he wouldn't have been so isolated. But he learned to love the Who's, even though he wasn't like the Who's.
And even though they didn't like him when he was a kid.
And there was some political turmoil there, but at the end of the day, it was resolved.
It was smoothed out.
Yeah, because that mayor's pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they love Christmas.
And
we
like,
love that.
Well, I also just like Horton Hears the Who as well.
Yeah, you got to think there's also Horton Who's the Who, so it's not Christmas all the time.
Well, right, but
like,
they heavily celebrate
they
Christmas.
do celebrate it hard.
Who
They
doesn't
go
love an
hard for
opportunity
Christmas.
to be jolly?
Right, exactly. I don't know, their world is just so cutie.
Yeah, and
It's
it
just
seems
so
like
cutie.
there's like,
And they do
other
have
than the fact that
interesting
they're worried-
inventions.
Other than the fact that they're worried about getting destroyed by like a kangaroo in Horton Hears the Who, I think they don't really have a lot of panic.
Yeah,
And
it seems pretty
like
chill.
They also seem like they can really rally because I think they broke the sound barrier that time in Horton Hears the Who.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they did.
They can really rally. The Who's can rally.
The
is what I'm
Who's
learning.
can rally. Seems like a good community.
So
Yeah.
Danville 2
Yeah, I
and
think
Whoville
so.
1.
I'm fine with that. I feel like I really fought for Danville to get the number 2 spot.
I'm still
Yeah.
not convinced on that, but
Well, Ocean Shores.
it's up there.
It's not my Ocean Shores.
It's just
All right,
California.
so this is what we ended up with. Our very top place we'd want to live is Whoville. Then we got Danville, Ocean Shores, then Orbit City, then Zootopia, Coolsville, Bikini Bottom, Monstropolis, Radiator Springs, and Narnia. Do you guys agree? Are there any that you think we totally had in the wrong
Perfect
spot?
list. It's a perfect list.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I think it's solid.
I think we had good
Let us know.
arguments.
Let us know your thoughts.
All right, we're moving on. We're going to talk a little bit. I know we said we were going to talk about Lilo and Stitch and the remake, but before we get there, because I'm a bit of a Disney file, I wanted to just like go over some of the misconceptions I think that are going on with like the Disney remake things right now, because I don't think people realize Disney remakes, live action remakes, were happening in the 90s. Like, if I say that to you guys, are you like, I didn't think about it like that?
I kind of forgot about some of them, to be honest.
When you mentioned 101 Dalmatians earlier when we were talking, I was like, wow, that is a remake or a live action remake.
Yeah.
Because that, to me, I guess probably just because it happened when I was young. That's like the only version of 101 Dalmatians I think of.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't really think of the 90s ones as being like it's not, I don't think of them as the way I think of a live action today.
But it's also interesting because I just don't even think of them. I feel like.
I think
in my mind, it's not even relevant.
Yeah, and I think this was like back when like VHS was like direct to video and stuff like that. So like there's obviously live actions now that are just like going on Disney Plus and not theatrical releases.
Right.
And that's like the quality that they give. And I think some of these, even if they were theatrical releases, they're still like, I think you think of them more as a home video than you do as like a commercially successful movie.
Yeah.
But like kind of what I would say is one of like the first like true remakes is they did like a Jungle Book in 1994 with like a real guy and stuff.
I don't even think
I don't
I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Or
me
seen
either.
it.
I had it on DVD. I remember it. And I definitely watched it at like the daycare I like went to.
Yeah.
And then like in 2000 they did 101 Dalmatians. They did a sequel to that, like 102 Dalmatians. And I think they had a lot of success with that. But it's interesting because like if you look at the progression of remakes, it's like they used real dogs. And so it is true live action, and now everything's kind of going CGI.
Yeah, it's a mix. It's a
Yeah.
mix between live action and still animation in my mind. It's CGI, but
Yeah. I know it's interesting. I think the reason, from my understanding, the production of like 102 Dalmatians took forever because they had
of so many
dogs.
dogs.
Because of the
I'm sure
dogs.
it did, but it's also
Yeah.
kind of iconic.
Those are the only two I like vaguely remember, and I don't even know how often I saw those. So it's, yeah.
I think I randomly watched that a lot. I think I watched 101 Dalmatians like all the time. The live action specifically. Yeah, I don't know why.
I think it was pretty successful, and I think it also like birthed this idea that you could give like focus to a villain more. Not that it wasn't like a true telling of her like taking the puppies, but because obviously puppies are puppies and they're doing live action, it's more focused on Cruella.
Yeah.
So then they kind of explored, like they did Maleficent and they did like Alice in Wonderland, which is also a little bit darker, and they used what's that director's name that does like Nightmare Before Christmas and those...
Tim Burton.
Yeah. So like I think they kind of went like more adult with some of their like decision making.
I actually didn't mind Maleficent. I've seen that and I liked that one.
I never saw it, but I heard it was like kind of good.
I actually liked it, but I didn't think. First of all, I liked it because it was an expansion on the story and it was a completely different point of view than Sleeping Beauty. I love Sleeping Beauty. It's one of my favorite princess movies. But like, I liked it because, number one, I think you could get away with not having like crazy CGI in it. Like it felt more realistic to do that because most of the characters are human or like a fairy that you can again make look like a human and dress them up. You know what I mean? Like it didn't feel like you lost something by making it live action. Whereas I think a lot of things that they have done by making live action, you lose so much of what's good about the original animated movie. Especially when it's a complete redo. Like I liked Maleficent. I will say that. That was one I did like.
Yeah, so do you guys think like prequels or like villain focused backstories is like a good direction? Because like I think part of the problem is Disney doesn't know what to do with the medium.
Yeah.
I actually like the idea of doing like either prequels or like backstories or villain focus. I think it's really fun because I think it gives you like a different viewpoint of like the world and like this situation. And I think it can make characters way more interesting.
Yeah, I love a second like side to a story. So like I'm all about like a prequel or like the villain origin story, like whatever, like their perspective of things. I'd be all in for that. Expanding the universe in an interesting way that you haven't thought of before. I'm all in.
My take personally, and this is why I think a lot of the Disney animated movies are not successful, is because they don't do true villains anymore. Because like if you watch like Raya and the Last Dragon, the villain is essentially like the same thing as like the darkness in Twitches. It's just like this black cloud
thing.
And there's like so many like, oh, I thought he was good, but he was bad. And like I'm like, the last time we had like a true villain, in my opinion, is like Mother Gothel. And even that is like not a very intimidating villain.
Yeah.
And that happened in 2010.
Yeah.
So we're like looking at a decade where like Encanto, who's the villain? A grandmother?
Right.
A family drama is the villain.
Drama.
And like I feel like that was even the case with like, what was it, Coco? Like who was did he have a real villain in that one? It seemed like family again.
The real villain was dead.
Right.
He was already dead.
Right.
Moana, it was like, oh, it's just an island. It's just actually an island. So yeah, like I just feel like the most iconic thing about Disney, in my opinion, is the villains. They're literally making a villain park, and it's like,
where are the villains? Where are the new villains?
Like you're relying on all your old villains.
right?
Yeah.
And so like to me, I think it's obvious that there's IP in villains.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where's the Hook backstory?
Yeah.
Oh my
That would
god,
be
I would
so
love
good.
that.
Where's like this is like the
I
thing.
love Peter Pan, and I would love to have Hook's backstory.
And like they have tried to remake Peter Pan so many times, and they did make a Hook movie. And what was successful? The Hook movie. I don't even think that was Disney. The Hook
I don't think
movie
it
with
was.
Robin Williams is way successful than any other live action remake they did with Peter Pan.
Yeah.
So like, I'm definitely like team like do villain like I don't know. Have you guys seen the Cruella movie?
No.
With Emily Stone. It's you kind of it's a slow start, but once you get into it, it's like
It's good.
oh, I like this. Oh, I like
Okay.
this.
I haven't seen it. 'Cause, you know, I said I've been avoiding remakes.
Yeah.
Not that that's a true remake, but
So like I'm definitely team like expand the world. Like Alice in Wonderland is like a great choice. Maybe it wasn't that good of how it was executed, but like there's so much to explore in that world. Like go for it.
Yeah.
But like in my opinion, villains are the way to go. And then the other thing that I think is weird, why are they remaking live actions like multiple times? Like have we noticed that like they did the Jungle Book in 1994 and then like they also did another live action Jungle Book in like 2016, 2015. Do you guys remember that?
no.
No, I mean, kind of, but
I feel like
I
think I remember that one more than I do the 90s one.
Yeah.
And then there's like, how many Cruella 101 Dalmatians are we going to get? They're making a Cruella 2.
That is
Why?
pretty weird.
I feel like they're jumping down the wrong paths here.
Yeah.
And then they made a Maleficent too, so there's like 3 Sleeping Beauties out there, I feel.
When we could be exploring different villains. What the heck?
Yeah.
So I'm just confused on why they're like, this is the storyline, we're gonna keep rolling with this. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a random bunch of movies to like continue to redo.
Yeah.
They made like 3. This
That
is
is
like
kind of weird though,
Wonderland.
because are the other ones like super successful? Because I could see like in the business room where you're like, well, these are our numbers, this is how much we're making, so why don't we just run with this until it stops working? But like I feel like they're not even overly successful the first
I feel
time.
like there's been a few that were like, I think Maleficent didn't do that. Didn't
Oh,
do
well, that one,
bad.
I
I think that one did pretty well.
101 Dalmatians was definitely successful, and it makes
Yeah.
sense because Glenn Close is such a good actress that it makes sense that they did 2.
Yeah.
But then, like, to be like, let's do it again, but Cruella,
Right.
like, where'd that come from?
So do you think that there's people trying to pitch for different movies, but they're like, no, we don't have the data to back it up, so no one's greenlighting them? Do we think that's the issue?
I don't think so because nobody can. They're freaking nobody is saying we want Dumbo remake and they did that. Nobody is saying we want Bambi remake and that's coming out.
Oh my god.
A live action Bambi remake.
Why? This is my beef.
That movie-
Stop making things that should be animated into live action. Why do I want to see a real life deer
Yeah, I
as a character?
don't get that. Like, if the movie is already mostly human, like I do, like Snow White.
That's why
like,
I can get behind like the princess ones, but like
yeah, but when it's mostly animals, like The Lion King, why are we making that live
so
action?
stupid.
I don't get it.
I hate it. I really passionately do not like those ones.
So I kind of started us off talking about like, okay, here's ones that were like successful and maybe not on the remake bandwagon. I don't think people were like, let's make 101 Dalmatians because we're going to just do this.
Yeah.
Because there was definitely like a big gap. I think that came out in like 2000 and then like the next remake is like coming out like in 2010s and like Maleficent came out in like the 2010s.
Yeah.
So like there's a big gap.
Right.
But nowadays they're coming out like every year.
I know. It's
And
horrible.
I didn't know this, but in 2019, they did the Dumbo live action remake, Aladdin, The Lion King, the sequel to Maleficent, all in 2019. Why?
Why?
What the hell? Yeah, that is insane to me.
I don't understand. Why are you wasting money redoing stories you've already done and making them live action? I don't want to see them in real life. The beauty of it is that it's animated. Like,
Yeah, animation is beautiful. I think animation is art, so it's really hard to see it real.
Like,
why
do I want to? Why do I want to see Simba looking like a real lion?
I always wanted
And
a
I don't. Yeah.
like who wants that? Genuinely.
I don't get it because these are movies that you have to put CGI in anyway. So then, like, what's the point? Like, it's
Right.
like,
It's
even
not
like
you have
Aladdin.
a lion on set.
Yeah, even like Aladdin, like, there's like magic. I can get behind more of like an Aladdin type live action, but even then there still has to be an element of like CGI if you're doing like magic with like the genie and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So it just confuses me because I'm like, this isn't really live action. Like, we can't make this without technology.
I think my whole beef is like, why are you taking something that's animated that was good and people liked it and it did well and basically remaking it into a CGI animated movie so it looks real? I don't want that. I don't want it. I have beef with this is sort of off topic, but with like some of the Star Wars stuff. They take animated characters and then they bring them into a live action show. Leave it animated. It looks better. It just looks better.
The argument I think that a lot of people say is, and I don't know, I'm paraphrasing this, but like Walt Disney, I guess at one point was like, these stories need to be told for like each generation. So I think people are taking that and commercializing it as, let's like just remake this for the next generation.
Which would be CGI.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that. I'm speaking for everybody.
I am
We don't
curious
want it.
how the kids, I mean, is there going to be kids 20 years from now sitting in our spot being like, it was so much better at CGI. Why are you doing this to it?
I mean, maybe. I just feel like some stories are more believable and like make more sense to be animated.
And like I was working at like a daycare in 2019 and stuff like that, and I would be like, well, which one do you like better, like the cartoon one or this? And they were like, no, the new one.
Oh, so they like the new ones.
They love the new ones.
So this
They
is
love the new ones.
interesting. So it's just us that hate it. Like our generation.
I think it's our generation and before.
But
Yes.
do you think they like that one because that's what they saw first?
Well,
No, I don't think it's what they've seen first, because at that daycare we still had VHS tapes that we were popping in there. They were watching the cartoon first.
I just think the CGI is just so bad. So bad.
But like this experience of going to the theater and like kids, they can't. I'm actually kind of surprised that kids like it better, because I would think they would be less like attached to the realistic CGI characters.
Right.
But it could just be like this is the new thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see that being the case because I do think there's so much of animation that has like kind of gotten that, I don't know what it's called, but like the style of like Tangled and Frozen,
Yeah,
where it's
that's
not
like Disney style.
where it's not like 2D, but it's not like flat. It has like dimension.
3D is the
Is
term.
it 3D?
Yeah. So
okay.
Because
I wasn't sure if it was 3D. I didn't want to.
basic history is like 2D animators don't exist anymore.
Okay.
They literally, the studio for 2D animation doesn't exist anymore. To bring back 2D animation would cost them so much money that they essentially can't do it.
Okay.
And nobody is getting trained in 2D animation anymore. So
Okay.
it's like an old dated
lost-
craft.
It's like
So
it's
now,
a
like-
start. Okay.
Like anything that's done for like Disney Plus now is outsourced. It's not through Disney. And like
That's
so,
tea.
yeah.
That's
tea.
big tea.
So
Okay.
that's what's happening.
But I'm wondering if kids like CGI so much because they are seeing like the 3D animation. So it's
Yeah.
like the next step up. Whereas like I'd be fine with 2D and like
Yeah.
So Jordan, you obviously are very passionately against live action.
so against.
So like, what do we think in general are the main gripes with the live action stuff right now?
Here's some of my main gripes. You're redoing movies that we've already seen. Relatively the same plot, maybe a few changes that probably don't need to be there. That's number one. Number two, you're taking cute animated characters, whether that be like an animal or like some not like human character, and you're bringing it into live action. So I'm literally looking at a like literal teacup and it has a face.
I will like, yeah, like on the note of the Beauty and the Beast movie, like Lumiere could pick up any chick he wants in the 90s version of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Lumiere, and whenever the remake came out, is chopped. he looks like this metallic, like weirdo, and his he got no flames to him.
No.
because he's like bound by the realism of the CGI. And I'm like, he's not picking up that feather duster woman that he had in the OG.
No.
Yeah.
Like, I just think you really lose me when it's like a legitimate teacup that has a face on it. Like,
I do wonder,
Wild
like,
choice of a remake, in my opinion.
you know those people that are like, Simba is hot.
Yeah.
Like, Teen Simba's hot. I'm like, say that now with the CGI.
right.
Now
He's
it's just a
lion.
literal animal.
Yeah, now you can't
And
say
that's
that
weird.
anymore.
And that's weird. Yes.
Yeah.
It's definitely weird to call CGI things hot.
Yeah, you can't do it. Sorry.
Danny Phantom CGI out.
Right. Right.
But
So true.
OG Danny Phantom. That's tea.
So yeah, I feel like those are my two like biggest like gripes. I don't want it to look real. Like, it's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be like, you watch these animated movies to like escape, and you're like a part of that world. And when you make it CGI, like live action real, it's like, I could like, this feels too real to be
The
like
2D animation serves the story better than the
I don't
CGI.
want it to feel like reality, even if there is magic and the animals are talking or whatever. Like, it's, you just lose like the charm and the escapism, I think, of a 2D, even a 3D animated versus live action.
Well, here's my question. So, like, you don't want them to do like a carbon copy of like a remake, like, because like The Lion King is literally frame for frame, and from my understanding, the only scene in that movie that's actually real is the first shot of the sun rising, and everything else is CGI.
Yeah, like, that to me is not live action. That is just, I don't know.
I just think, what's the
I think
point?
that's the most egregious example, and I think it didn't do well because people were like,
Yeah.
And I know that they had very good people like doing the music and like all that, but it's like, I just think you did so good on the first one, and like it.
That is the problem, is like you do lose a lot of like the original music that people like, because like I didn't think the Lilo and Stitch soundtrack was that good, and like they took out all of the Mulan stuff because they thought it was like stereotyping when they did the Mulan one, and I think people were like, ugh.
I haven't watched any of these because I am anti.
But like, like, to play devil's advocate,
Right.
like, okay, you don't want them to do the exact same thing, but if you change the story, that you're like, hey, don't change that story, that was good the way it was.
You know,
I think it goes back to, you have to do like a prequel, or you have to focus on a different character, and
So
like
people can't touch the story as it is.
I don't think you can touch the story.
you know what I love, and I've brought it up before, and it's a little bit different because it's not a movie, but Once Upon a Time, it's perfect. It's every Disney character and story, live action, in the storyline that makes sense, and it's so cool.
I do actually like that show, but I get mad at their plot lines because they do
change the plot lines.
They
They
do
do change the
change.
plot lines, but I think it's so good. I think that is how you live action something.
And that was like but they kept it all to people generally.
Yeah,
like,
but there's a story. There's a backstory for why they're people, which I think is cool and makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you don't touch the, like, in terms of like true Disney or like in general, I don't think you touch the original. I think that story is like the truth, and you can build upon it and make the world bigger if you want to, but you leave the characters and the original story alone.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I really don't like it when I think they change the character where, like, the character of that person is different.
It's different than
That
the
is-
original movie.
I hate that too.
Because then for the kids watching it for the first time, it's completely different story.
Yeah, it's like, my favorite character is
Right.
Elsa. And then they're like, I hate Elsa!
Right.
Yeah.
Because I even think, so like, I liked Maleficent, but I think it made, like, it was like her point of view, and like they make her she doesn't seem that bad in her story.
Yeah.
And you see like why she was evil, and it like kind of changes some of the other characters. And I'm like, I'm unsure how I feel about that, but I did still like the movie because she does turn evil basically.
Sometimes I like it when they just like don't give any origin story to a villain because I think that might make the villain a bit more badass. Like in the case of like Maleficent, it's like, don't invite me to your daughter's birthday. You're done.
You're done. You're cursed. Yeah.
And I'm like, just leave it at that.
Right.
Your example though feels like it's different because it's just a second perspective. I feel like to Becca's point, it's like when you try to remake the same exact story and the end you change the character a little bit, that's when it's like, wait, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because that's like, do just like it's the same character, different perspective, so you understand her better.
Yes.
I don't
think
like if
that's
they
okay.
redo the same exact story, change someone slightly. That's like, no.
That's why you just don't touch it. You just don't touch it.
Yeah.
So speaking of things you don't touch, they did try to remake the like first animated movie recently, and it bombed.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
hit me with some fast facts about Snow White. What's that woman's name? Ziegler.
Rachel Zegler.
Yeah.
I do like her actually. She was in the Hunger Games. That was good.
Who was she in the Hunger Games?
The new Hunger Games.
You haven't read that book yet.
Oh, okay. I'm not hip to that.
You should be though. It's great. Yeah, so really big controversy with that. There was a lot going on in general with the release of that movie, but I'd say like the biggest issues that people had were casting, the depiction of the dwarves, the dramatic storyline changes. What I say about changing the original story. Okay.
Yeah, they were very much like, she don't need no man, and they're like, that's the story.
The whole point.
That's literally the story.
Like, you can't change the story. I just think you can call it a remake in my mind. And then like the last thing is bad acting and like storytelling. Like it just did not come through.
I think they tried to like modernize some of like the things that they said in
like
the movie,
the themes and stuff, or the dialogue.
the dialogue, and it didn't land.
People didn't like it.
Yeah, it seems it all around it did horrible. Like Snow White is considered the biggest box office flop for Disney. They lost over $170 million.
That's crazy.
Which is, do we know how much they put into it?
I think like 300 million, like somewhere in the range of 300 million to 400
so they
million.
did not make a lot of money. Well, they didn't make any money, but that's crazy.
It flopped. She was a flop. So basically after that movie flopped, they did halt the production of any remakes that weren't far into production. Thank goodness. Maybe they needed a flop to stop them.
And like, I remember when this happened, and there was like a lot of media that was like, oh my gosh, Bob Iger, who's like the CEO of Disney, like he's gonna like scrap them. They're not going to come out anymore, which would be awesome because we had like 5 in 2019.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't need all that.
Many.
No, yeah, I think there's also just like remake fatigue because they're just coming out too often and we don't need it. And I think that's actually part of the reason why they're doing bad is because I think if you were to do a remake of a nostalgic thing, somebody might be interested if that comes out every 5 years and they're like, oh, this is the remake. They don't do this that often. That's going to be cool to see. Now, if you're doing it every year, then it's just like, this is a cash grab.
It seems like they're not coming up with anything original, and anything original they are coming up with, they're not promoting. They're just promoting their remakes, in my mind.
Yeah. That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. But they stopped any that weren't far into production, right? Mm-hmm. But they didn't stop Lilo and Stitch. They were far enough into production that they still wanted to release it on schedule in 2025.
Yeah, and I think they were like, I honestly think if Lilo and Stitch did bad, they would have scrapped everything.
Yeah. But despite the live action of Snow White doing horribly, Lilo and Stitch did wonderfully. Lilo and Stitch ended up being the most successful live action remake movie of all time. And it made over $1 billion in the box office.
Crazy.
I think that's like any hybrid movie that's like CGI, and I think that's like the first one ever hit like $1 billion like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's impressive. I mean, if
Like
it's the
outside
biggest
of like
one of
the
all,
Avengers and like that stuff.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So mad impressive. It did so well. And in 2020, Lilo and Stitch merch made over 200 million in a year. But then by 2024, leading up to the movie, Disney sold 2.6 billion in merch for Lilo and Stitch.
Crazy.
So the merch is going absolutely berserk.
People love Stitch.
I love Stitch.
Stitch is everywhere. You go to any store. You ever see those videos where it's like find Shaq? We should do a video where it's like find Stitch. And like how fast you can find
Like
Stitch
walk
at a
into
store.
every section
Yes.
and be like, where's Stitch? Because like they put him on bags, they put him on t-shirts, and not just kids t-shirts. It's like adult stuff too.
I wear
yeah.
an adult Stitch shirt, hands down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Lilo and Stitch is now considered a top 10 Disney franchise, and Disney resumed production of their live action films because Lilo and Stitch did so well.
I'm so stoked for Bambi.
I can't believe they're remaking Bambi.
Pissed about that. I didn't know that until today. I'm mad. So dumb.
I think that's coming out like soon.
Oh gosh. Okay, we're boycotting that. But if you can't tell, there is some controversy in this room about live action. And even though Lilo and Stitch was successful, it is still getting met with mixed reviews. So for those who grew up with the original film, many people were upset about how the storyline changed a little bit, and like the depiction of certain characters in the film are a little bit different, and just people aren't really happy about it. One of the big examples are the aliens that are in the live action. So Captain...
They did Jumba dirty. They did. I'm serious.
yeah, so Becca's one of those people.
I'm serious. Don't do that to Uncle Jumba like that.
So people are upset about Jumba because he ends
What's
up...
the lore? Yeah.
Yeah, he ends up being evil in the live action, and I wouldn't say that he's not evil in the original, but he's definitely not as evil as they make him seem in the live action.
Here's the thing. Disney does evil villains, and then they do like comical villains. So like
Yeah.
Hades, Yzma, comical villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Maleficent and like Queen Heart's like actual evil villain.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
like Jumbo was like the comical villain in the original, and then this remake, he is not. He's
Yeah.
villain. And it's like, and also he doesn't have his accent. So that also makes me mad.
Yeah,
It's
so
part of his charm.
Yeah.
the real villain in the original film was Captain Gantu, but he's not even in the live action. Which I actually am not sure if he's not even. I feel like there's a character right in the beginning that's like really giant that might
That's probably could
be
be.
him. I think it's supposed to be him, but he's like doesn't come down to earth and like fight or anything. So he's not actually like villain.
See, what's the point? Why not have all the same characters?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Why change it up?
Well, I think because they made it live action and they didn't have the budget to make this giant guy, alien guy.
I think there was a lot of backlash about the Lion King being so CGI. So they're like, okay, we really want to bring this down to earth. We don't want it to be CGI. And I also think they were like, oh, we're losing money because like it's hit or miss, right? Like Snow White bombed. Like I don't think all of them were successful. So they were like, we can't throw all this money into CGI. So they were like, we're cutting. That guy's too big. He can't be CGI. He's done.
Yeah, I think you see like a little small bit of him in like the very beginning of the movie. But
think
yeah,
you're right.
It's not like he was in
I feel
the
they could
original.
have gotten around it
Yeah.
to include him.
Well, they got around it for the other two aliens. So Jumba and who's the other one? Pleakley. They in the live action film have like this remote that turns them into humans.
All I gotta
don't
say
know.
is Pleakley is my drag queen, and I'm mad.
I know.
That was another controversy. People were mad that like we weren't gonna see Pleakley in drag.
Yeah, they honestly really should have done that.
It would have been hilarious.
One thing I will say though about live action that we discussed in our Shrek podcast episode, I think, how sometimes Disney doesn't make things have a good backstory. Like we're just accepting these things that like they don't explain well. I think live action forces them to explain it or like have a reason. So like the aliens turning into humans so that they can be on Earth and not be detected. That to me kind of it's not of like you don't have to just accept these answers that like animated movies make you accept.
I
Do you
think that's
see what
kind
I'm
of the
saying?
fun of it, though, in terms of
Well,
the
if it
anime.
means I miss out on quickly and drag, then was it really worth it?
No, I'm not saying it's worth it. I just think when you do live action, it does force you to explain certain aspects of a movie better.
I did think so. Like to your point, like the scene where Stitch comes down to Earth in the original, he like gets run over by a Mack truck immediately, and like in this one, he doesn't. I was like, oh yeah, probably because they can't just show this like realistic like murder scene,
Right,
yeah.
in this like movie. But like, I think that's like funny. And
No, it is funny. It is funny. That was something that when I was watching the live make, I was like, oh, they're kind of explaining certain things a little bit better. Like I think
The water density?
the foster person that shows up. So like in the live action, there's kind of a backstory of this foster care person who has been not foster care. What is it called? Like child services.
Yeah.
It's like coming to check in on them a lot. And in the live action, it's like this woman who like obviously has like a relationship with them and has been around often is like coming to their house and checking in to make sure everything is going well. And then in the original, it's just that
Cobra
FBI
Bug.
agent
It's Cobra
right
Bug.
away. Yes. Yeah. But in the live action, they kind of make him show up later and he's still an active FBI agent and he goes undercover as child services. And to me, that made more sense than the original Stitch.
Yeah, but I just think in general they tried to make the older sister Nani like way more like not together compared to like the original, and I was like, I don't think that's like her character at all. And I do think sometimes on the show we talk a lot about like who's this for? Is this for the younger generation or the older generation? And I almost feel like the way they set this up was it was supposed to be like the older generation, like you need to think about yourself and your future and things like that.
Yeah.
And like I think they tried to make her more relatable to people our age, because I think when we watched this originally we were Lilo and now we are Nani.
Right.
So like
That is the second controversial part of the movie, is that she does end up putting Lilo into foster care, which in the original she does not. So in that sense, like her character arc is kind of changing a little bit, because it's like, oh, she deserves to go to college too, because like she should get her like what she wants to do and get her life back. But in the original, that was like not even a question. It was like she's gonna stay here. And
I know. I just have beef with that. So I did not watch the remake. Again, I'm anti. So I did not watch it coming into this. And I'm glad I didn't, because the things that they were telling me, I was not happy. But I just feel like the whole plot of like the main theme,
the
I'll
moral
say,
of the story changed.
Yeah, it's completely different, because let me come back to that. There's a lot of thoughts happening in my head. But the main theme, I think, of the original animated was like, ohana means family. Nobody gets left behind. Like, you stick together with your community. Like, your family doesn't have to be like your blood relatives. It's the people that you make community with and who you choose to be there for. And I think that's like such a meaningful, like, theme to have, because it can translate in so many different ways, and anybody could kind of relate to that no matter your situation. And then I feel like in this one, Nani giving Lilo into foster care, I understand like, oh, putting yourself first and like all of that sort of thing. It seems like that's the theme they're going for.
It's not even that. It's more like sometimes like the right thing to do if you can't support her is to give her up. I think that was the whole point. Like, it's too much for you and it's not in her best interest.
which they do touch on in the original a little bit, but it's not as big. It's not the main
poignant,
theme in the original. But to your point of like, to play devil's advocate a little bit, you know, my favorite thing to play. If you do think of it as like no one gets left behind, I think Nani is being left behind, because like, also to your point, it feels like it's made for Nani. Like it feels like we are now Nani, and this is like our storyline of like, oh wait, I am being left behind because I got offered a full ride to this really good school to like make something of myself, and now I'm being left behind because I have to do X, Y, and Z.
And they talk about how like she's not surfing as much as she used to, and she loves surfing, but she can't because she has to take care of Lilo.
I mean, okay, I can understand that is like obviously a real scenario that people experience obviously in real life and all of that, but
to put someone in foster care
right,
feels extreme.
The solution does seem harsh, and it also
right. I think that's what it comes. I'm like, you put your little sister in foster, like the thought, like being an oldest sister and thinking about like having to be in that position. I would rather suffer the consequences and keep my sister with me than put her in a house somewhere else unless I was physically forced to do so.
Yes, and I think most people would agree with that, and I think that's why it's controversial.
It also, too, I don't think... I honestly think they thought it was so controversial when they did it that they tried to, like, soft land it by being like, you're actually just going to... like be adopted essentially by the neighbor.
Yeah, that's what ends up happening. Their neighbor lady, very Lancaster County thing to say, the neighbor lady, ends up adopting Lilo so that like Nani can come and see her whenever.
And a couple things about this don't make sense. One, in my head, like that neighbor has been like offering to help with Lilo the entire time.
Yeah, so why did it take so long?
So, well, like, why
couldn't she just help out?
Why does she officially need to adopt her to do this?
Completely agree.
Like, I don't think you need to be officially adopted for any of this. Because for legal reasons, I think it would make sense if she wasn't, to be honest. And then, like, also, I don't understand why Nani was refusing help because that was happening.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And I feel like I feel like they couldn't make up their mind in the story. And then they were just like, okay, we're going to do this to soften the landing so it's received better. And I think that's like very cowardly. I think it's very cowardly storytelling, to be honest.
I think really what it maybe should have just been is like, oh yeah, like Nani just accepts help from the people in her community, which is kind of how I think the original goes.
That is exactly how the original goes, because Jumba is like turns like friendly and helps them, and then he's like Uncle Jumba, and he's buying them like basically hovercrafts for Christmas in the credit scenes, and then they go on to like release like the Disney Channel Lilo and Stitch series where it's just them having fun. So completely, this is basically like an alternative ending.
Yes,
and
because she goes to college.
It's horrible.
She does. Well, okay, I wouldn't say that it was horrible. I have beef. I have beef with certain parts of it, but this one they get a portal gun, and so she gets to come. She takes a portal gun with her to college, and so then she just like zaps over and hangs out with Lilo at night.
I just think
again, it's softening the actual decision, which I think it's like not.
Yeah, I think they just are acting like foster care is like so
wild,
good, and like
that's the other thing. There's so many problems with foster care, and they're just acting like no, this is like
oh, it's no big deal to like, just let your sister go to foster care
so that you can go to college. Yeah, that is actually a crazy storyline. Terrible.
I
Terrible
just think
idea.
I just think it takes away from the original thing where like you rely on the people in your community, and like it's okay to have a village, and your village doesn't have to be family. It's again the people you're choosing to surround yourself with. And I think they easily could have done that, and the neighbor just like helped out. And I don't know if she had her boyfriend in this one too, but like
he was there, but it was like
it was the labor lady's son.
Yeah, and it was like and it was also like very much like no, ooh, you dweeb, and not like oh, I could actually date you type of vibe.
Oh, I got the vibe that they would date.
Well, yeah, I don't know. This is why I don't like remakes, because why are you touching the original story?
I do think they took a lot, like the Jumba thing really pisses me off because I do feel like they ruined that character, and also they took away, I would say, like the expanded ohana in that way.
Yeah.
And like I think saying like this is adopted, this is going to be your family now, I'm not living here anymore, even though like she has a portal gun that she can like go back to her, I think you completely lose kind of like it takes a village. You lose it completely.
They could have done that same ending where she does get to go to college and not say that like she's officially giving up Lilo. It could just be like her offering to like be a second guardian for Lilo and her live with the neighbor.
Yeah.
Instead of
Right.
like making it an official thing.
Yeah, I think that would have been better.
Right. I think it sounds like there's plenty of ways they could have chosen a better ending, and they didn't.
And I just go back to they took things away from the world that should have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had an entire series where aliens came to Hawaii, and now that no longer happens. The other thing that bothers me too is Stitch was so realistic, and it was like really hard to get behind people thinking it was a dog.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
why are people thinking he's not passing as a dog? Which honestly, he's not passing as a dog in the original either.
No, but it's more forgivable in the cartoon.
Again, it's
That's true.
animated, so
That's
you're
true.
like,
He's
so you're like,
blue.
you know what? It doesn't matter.
And that's the other thing. It's like, does the neighbor lady take her to get Stitch in the?
Yes,
And that's,
yes.
that would never
Which is
happen.
also crazy. Yes, the neighbor is babysitting Lilo one day while Nani is at work, and she just goes and gets her dog. I'm like, you're not even gonna ask Nani.
And then it's like obviously a mess, and then it's also like
Yeah.
The other thing too is I don't think you sympathize as much with Stitch in this new version because like there's like obviously this scene where he's like reading about the ugly duckling and he's like I don't belong anywhere, and I just he's like and there's like in the original he just like says lost, and then you're like
Becca, I almost cried at that scene. I just rewatched Stitch because I remember you bringing up that scene the other day about how the ugly duckling scene.
Yeah.
And I was watching it and I was like, oh my God, he thinks if he goes to the woods and says lost, his family's gonna come. And
Yeah.
he doesn't have a family. And I literally almost cried.
oh here's the other thing. Like, I know I keep talking about how Juma was a hot mess.
She's really stuck on Juba.
I need to say this. He also, like, high-key hated Stitch. And he was like, I'm going to make a better version of Stitch.
Yes.
And he's like, I'm going to make 627. I'm going to make 60. And I was like, hello? Like, because, again, Uncle Juba would be like, oh, I love my creation, 626 Stitch. And he's like, here's my
Yeah.
other. He's like an evil scientist, but he loves his creations. And this
Right.
one, he was like, I'm going to turn you into something
Yeah.
so, like, maniacal. And it just felt like way more evil and so
I
harsh.
agree.
And I did not like that.
It doesn't make they made him too evil that it doesn't make sense that he's all of a sudden on board to help them by the end of the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And is he in the...
Yes, in the live action, he's like on there. He helps save Stitch at the end from like being taken back.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want, he doesn't want them separated from the family. And that also doesn't make sense. Yeah, because again, it just feels also like problematic that it's like, we're keeping this dog because this dog is family, but I'm giving up Lilo for adoption.
That's
Yes,
insane.
yes. Like what?
They
Crazy.
did not make logical choices, I feel. I'm so glad I didn't watch.
I actually did still really like the movie. It also
And the
made me
soundtrack
emotional.
was bad.
Yeah, I don't
The
know.
version of Hawaiian Roller Coaster Run sucked, I think.
You know what
You
I
just
liked
can't-
about in the live action though
can't
is
redo perfection.
that Nani saved Stitch from the water.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good scene.
I thought they did a better job at explaining that Stitch has like, he can't do the water thing.
Yes, I completely agree. I think that was lost on me in the original.
I definitely knew that in the original, but like I think the scientific like reasoning made a lot more sense in this
yeah,
one.
because like once he gets wet, he gets super heavy. So like
It's a density problem.
Lilo gets like knocked off and like is like or gets like dragged down and is like drowning, and Stitch in the live action like dives down and like saves her from the water. But then he gets too heavy and he can't get himself back up. So he's like going to drown at the bottom of the ocean. And then Nani, like Lilo like begs Nani to go back and get Stitch, and she goes back and gets Stitch.
And goes back and gets him, but can't bring him up, so she's walking
Running
under
on the
water.
bottom of the water. It's a really cool scene,
Yeah.
actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like the one good thing they did.
Okay, so verdict to like summarize all this in a pretty little bow. We're anti-Disney remakes in general because they've just taken it too far to a cash grab, basically.
Yeah,
Yes.
completely agree.
And the movies have lost integrity.
Yes.
And then, like, where would we give a ranking of the Lilo and Stitch animated movie 1 through 5?
The animated version?
Yeah, we'll do animated
OG.
and the live action. I'm giving the animated a 4 out of 5.
I agree.
I was going to say 4 out of
Totally
5.
agree.
fun fact about the animated one, it is actually done in watercolor. It's watercolor animation. It's the last movie that they did in watercolor animation.
Wow.
That's cool.
So props to them. 4 to 5. And then I'm giving the Lilo and Stitch live action remake a 2.5.
Wow, I was gonna give it a 3.5.
Whoa.
And I
thought it was really
I
good.
didn't watch, so I can't give a rating.
It's actually, if you had never seen Lilo and Stitch before, I think it's like a decent watch.
Probably. I think for me, it just comes down to the principle of
Yeah.
you're changing the story.
I liked it more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like to
I
rack
think
on
it's
things.
fair that it could be a good watch if you're like not familiar, or maybe you didn't like the first one and you watched this one and you liked it better.
I will say I was not a huge like Stitch girl growing up. I probably have only seen that movie 1 or 2 times, and it was like when I was a kid. So like rewatching Stitch, like I forgot a lot of the plot of Stitch, and I watched the animated version first, and I was like, oh my god, I love this. And then I watched the original to compare it to. So I would say that like I wasn't like a huge like Stitch girl, but then I ended up liking the live action, to your point.
Yeah. I honestly, I wasn't a huge Lilo and Stitch fan. Like that wasn't a movie that I was like reaching for as a kid. I liked it, but it wasn't like in my like top ones I was picking. But even so,
Yeah.
I like OGs, and I don't think you should change
And
it.
if I would have flipped my watching order,
Right,
I
do you
wonder
think it
if
would have
it
been
would have been
different?
different. Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Well, that's all we have for today. Taylor, where can they find us?
You can find us at zillennial.meets.world on all socials.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
See ya.